From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a PrimeWave Media production.
All right, so we got the Week 13 CFP bets list, and you guys go ahead and get your notepads out and everything like that. Don't you guys always be hitting me in the DM? Can I just send me the list, man? I don't have time to do. Yeah, you do. You have time. I have time to put it together. You have time to go ahead and write it down on some paper. All right, so plus 25 on South Florida in the matchup of the Florida teams that don't nobody care about. Central Florida and South Florida, you know, the directional schools. So pretty much this is going to be a good one. But I truly do feel like South Florida does figure out a way to cover, because it seems like every time you give them a big line against UCF, they figure out a way to cover in these games. And South Florida has been a better team over the last month or so from where they came from at the start of the season. And then you got Houston playing against Tulsa, and Tulsa is a tricky-ass team. And I'm still seething over last week because Tulane had the plus 5.5 covered. They wind up giving up a pick 6, and we lose by 6. Man, I'm telling you, that was bad beat city. But no beat was better than the one that happened in the Virginia game, though. But who the hell would bet Virginia and Abilene Christian in the first damn place? You're a real degenerate, bruh. And if you had Abilene Christian, you deserve to lose because you should have knew better. All right, so pretty much -1 Houston. I think Houston should work this one out. They should get us a good win. I don't think they'll be living in bad beat city this week. And then you got SMU. SMU has a pretty good matchup on their hand as well, too. They're going against an ECU team that is very tricky, but I don't think that they're going to be too tricky against this SMU team that can move the ball down the field fairly quickly and find ways to get into the end zone and find ways to blow teams out without really, pretty much having a hard time doing it. So I'm taking a 12.5 because it looks very damn sexy to me. So -12.5 on SMU. Let's see how it shakes out. Hopefully it's pretty and not ugly to us. All right, then we got Cincinnati with Temple, and I'm going to go ahead and take the under 52 here with Cincy and Temple. Today, I think this should be a good bet. I mean, not today, but you know what I mean, though. For the weekend, under 52, Cincy Temple. The line is way too long, but I do expect Cincinnati to win the game. It's a better first half play than it is a full game play on the line. So pretty much the under 52, I feel like what's going to happen here is Cincinnati's just going to have a very dominant performance, and they're going to really make sure Temple doesn't score that much at all. And it's going to be cold. It's Philly, so we'll see how it goes. And then we got Memphis and Navy. Navy coming into this game, the struggle. But the Navy always figures out a way to play much better at home. And I think that they're going to shorten this clock a little bit, and they'll figure out a way to get this game under 63. So pretty much under 63 with Memphis and Navy for the AAC bets list. Now we move on to the Conference USA. Tomorrow we're going to have Tomorrow I'm going to feature the Big 12, the Mountain West, and the Pac-12, and then we're going to do ACC, Big 10, and SEC come Friday, okay? Come Thursday, all right? So pretty much be on the lookout for that. We got Conference USA that got 4 games this week and another game canceled. You know how it is in that conference, the cancellation conference. FIU, LA Tech, that game has been canceled, and these games are on standby, in my opinion, because one of them probably will get canceled, just like the prior game that I just spoke about. So I love Southern Mississippi in their spot against UAB, and I think that pretty much the 20, that's a good number right there. And then we got the over 44.5 with UTEP and Rice. And boy, oh boy, I think this is going to be some good money right there. There go my boy, Brendan Gibbons, young legend. Young legend, say what's up to Manny for me too. Under 67, North Texas. And then we got the San Antonio game as well too. And then we got FAU as well too with the Florida Atlantic game, and this is gonna be some good money right here, boy. I'm telling you. So we jump into it because FAU playing some damn good football right now. So you can have my money. I think they can win by 10 or better. The defense is rock solid right now. So we gonna rock and we gonna roll. So let's go ahead and move forward. And we got ourselves the MAC bets list and under 59.5. We got Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan. This is gonna be a big rivalry game. So it winds up going under, in my opinion. See, Central Michigan can figure out ways to lock it up defensively to where EMU is gonna be, very, very predictable in my opinion. So pretty much I'm taking it under 59.5. CMU, Eastern Michigan, let's go. And then the dog bet of the week in the MAC, Kent State. Why sleep on them? This team is awesome. They're going against Buffalo. Buffalo is going to go and overlook them like they always do and get spots like this. Kent State's going to wind up winning this game because they got the better defense, in my opinion. And their offense moves is a little bit more balanced. Buffalo does rely more on the passing game. So Kent State, rock and roll, man. Make me look good, dog. Let's go ahead and get that plus 215. And we got the plus 24.5 on Bowling Green. Why? Because Bowling Green gonna mess around and cover in this game. Ohio hasn't covered all season, so pretty much Bowling Green lose by 3 touchdowns or less, and we'll just go from there. And then we got Ball State. Ball State is in a spot where they can get the monster upset here. Toledo is always slipping in a spot like this one. It's hard to trust Toledo, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna take Ball State, and damn, Prince's ex-wife is pretty fine. So, pretty... I don't know, because there's some shit on TV right now, too, while I'm talking to y'all. So, plus 10, Ball State. Let's go and get it. Minus 20, Western Michigan. Boy, oh boy, let's go ahead and get the money, dog. I think that this one is going to be a good matchup for us, and we're going to make some money here as well, too. I think they win by 3 touchdowns or better. Western Michigan is an auto offense, so that's all I see with them, and let's go ahead and get that money in that spot as well, too. We got the over 54, Miami, Ohio, Akron. You know what's going to go on here. It looks like it's probably going to be another Akron beatdown, but Akron's desperate to get a win, bro. These guys have lost 21 games in a row. So at some point, they're going to have to win a game, all right? And I think that this could be the day. That's why I'm taking the over. It's tricky. It's tricky right here because they're a 14.5-point home dog here. So pretty much it's a holiday weekend as well too. You don't want Miami of Ohio to get too overstuffed and Akron take advantage of it, right? So pretty much it's a MAC bets list, and this one is going to be very unpredictable this week, but I feel like I'm on the right side with some of these pluses, all right? So let's go ahead and move on. And what's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the premier sports betting show. And this is the Primetime Angles live on IG. Boy, oh boy, we didn't have any sports yesterday, but you know what? We had some good stuff to talk about and everything like that. I got a big show for you today as well too. A whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We got the bets list in CFB today. We also have the NBA totals by division as well too. We're going to be featuring the Northwest and the Central Division today. Also, we're going to jump into the CBB bets list opening day. And also, we're going to have the CBB dog pick 4 today as well, too. And I have Charlestown Racetrack today as the racetrack, that as the featured track. Another track in West Virginia, but this is the one with the casino at it. Both of them got a casino, but this one is where they get it on after about 7 o'clock and everything like that. Them country boys down there in West Virginia. Hey, Pete, what's going on, boy? So pretty much, man, let's go ahead and jump into it because we got a big show today. So, man, y'all better get on up in here because we do have a game tipping off at 10 o'clock as well, too. So you guys be ready for that one as well, too, man. I'm telling you, big things are on the way, man. I can't wait, bro. Be back in Vegas in a few weeks as well, too. So you guys be on the lookout for that. Some big things coming, big things coming. But let's go ahead and jump into the CFB Big 12 bets list to start off the show. Here we go. Big 12 bets list. We're going to pick them on Texas. Hook 'em horns. They got themselves a pretty good game going against Iowa State Saturday. This is an even shot on the books right now. I think that it will creep towards Texas being a late favorite here as well, too. I think Texas will go ahead and take care of their business here. Sam Ellinger, go ahead and get us home, brother. You know you got to keep on improving that draft stock as well, too. So come on, and then let's get it home, man. All right, so we move on, and we got ourselves Texas Tech in a very complex game in a sense to me, but I think that Texas Tech has enough in this spot to go ahead and cover here. Plus 11 is a good number on Texas Tech, a team that doesn't like to die. So I think they have a good spot here though. You know, and a lot of people probably going to be betting against them, but I like them here. So let's see how it shakes out. Plus 11 on Texas Tech today. Then we got the over 46.5. K-State, Baylor, two teams that are going in two different directions. Baylor's having an awful season this year, and K-State is a team that's very middling at best. So pretty much what do we do here? We scoreboard watch, and I'm going to play the over 46.5. K-State, Baylor. Let's move on, and we got West Virginia in a very good game against Oklahoma this week. West Virginia is lights out at home this year. It's hard to bet against them, and I'm just going to go all in on these fellas on Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and take the plus 320 on West Virginia to go ahead and take care of their business, man, and get us home a big ticket with the plus 320 money line. And then we have the under 52.5. TCU and Kansas. This looks like it could be a bloodbath for Kansas on Saturday. Pretty much, Kansas is the worst team in the conference, pretty much one of the worst teams in all of college football as well too. I can't believe they're wasting Les Miles' great coaching just to be over there, just to show up in maybe one or two games. That's absolutely dreadful. So pretty much I'm going to go ahead and take the under 52.5 because this is a very unpredictable team. And I saw that as well too. RIP Maradona, all my Argentine people that follow the show and everything like that. I know that you guys are grieving and everything, but the legends leave a lot of film for us to go ahead and reminisce about. So RIP to that man as well too. But all right, man, y'all getting on up in here. Let's go ahead and jump to the Mountain West. Mountain West got some really good matchups going on this week. I like this good old rivalry matchup. This is Colorado State and Air Force. Both these teams, they've been going at it for years, and this is really a rivalry between two Colorado State colleges. You know what I mean? You got Colorado State sitting down there doing their thing in Colorado City, and then you got or wherever they play at, and then you have Air Force that's chilling. They're over somewhere in Denver, and pretty much this is a big Colorado rivalry game. So we're gonna go see how it go. We're gonna see how this one shakes out. I do like Colorado State in this spot. I like the plus 5.5. And you know what? In this game, this is where I found Preston Williams at, who's now a pretty key part of the Miami Dolphins. I remember seeing this guy absolutely moss guys left and right in that game. I said he's going to be a special receiver when he gets to the league. They didn't draft him until the 7th round. So you start to see that even if you do NFL type things in a game, it doesn't really matter because that's when, pretty much the evaluators, the naysayers, they're going to always try to tear you down. But I knew that guy was a Sunday guy, and he's showing up for me in that sense as well, too. We got the under 51.5, New Mexico, Utah State. This is a battle of the basement dwellers. New Mexico is really not having a great season because they didn't really get started to the season. They had the COVID issues, and that pretty much put them behind the 8 ball very early. Utah State, once again, a very young team, and they've been just going through growing pains week in and week out. So it's like the JV playing against the varsity. I expect them to probably be better in the final 2 weeks of the season. But right here, I think that this will be a good under game because I don't see much happening because both these offenses are a little putrid. Even though New Mexico shows that they can score a little bit, Utah State will figure out a way to kind of nip that in the butt because they do have a very basic offense as well too. So I think that this winds up going under 51.5 is tough to pick a winner. But if I do lean towards the side, I think New Mexico could be a strong play for you here as well too. But you might have to buy them down a little bit. I saw that they were at 7. You might want to buy them down to a 6.5 real quick just to give yourself that insurance right there as well too. Then you got UNLV going against Wyoming, and as I told you guys before, Wyoming is a team that always struggles out on the road. So UNLV is due for a game where nobody sees them coming, and I think this will be the game right here. So plus 16 on UNLV, running the Rebs. Let's see how they'll do in the Death Star come Saturday, because they are playing at home. I still don't understand why they ain't in the parking lot, but still, UNLV, it is what it is. This is going to be very good for this team moving forward. Maybe in a decade or so, we can see this team in the Pac-12 just because the brand new stadium that they added, and they'll probably be able to recruit better once they find the correct coach, or once they put Pop DiBiase on the payroll, and then they'll be able to get the right players. I'm telling you, I'll be over there recruiting all the hood cats in South Central. Like, you want to go to UNLV? Be up there looking like Tark. All right, so, and my man Jay Breezy know about Tark. Tark coached in our city. Coach Shark, he coached Pasadena City College. That's where he started at. So that's where he got all his good old boys at, and that's why he knew how to recruit the right type of player to win basketball games for him. All right, so we got the over 58 San Jose State, Boise State. San Jose State, I'm still impressed with this team throughout the season, but Boise State is where they're going to pretty much get their lesson learned, and this is going to be a game that's going to be in Boise as well too. So pretty much this one's going to wind up being probably one-sided in a sense, but I think the game does go over as well too. Yes, San Jose State's been playing better defense and everything like that, but I think they're going to score a little bit as well too, and this game winds up going over just by a bit, you know what I mean? Probably 30 to, 40 to 24 or something like that. But all in all, I think this game does go over. So that's San Jose State and Boise State. And we move on, and we got Hawaii at home late, going against undefeated Nevada. And this is a trap for Nevada, in my opinion. I don't think Nevada played the better teams in the conference. Yes, they did beat San Diego State, but San Diego State is on a slide this season. San Diego State needed a preseason this year to really tune their team up, and they got the week off this week too. Very sad because they're not able to play arch rival Fresno State this season, but it's all good. As long as they still had a season, it's cool. But let me stick to the script. Hawaii is going to be really, really, really tough to beat in this game. So pretty much what I'm going to do here is take Hawaii on the money line, late money, and Hawaii take care of us, man, and give us some of that early morning NFL money. You know what I mean? So we can flip that back up on the dog bet of the week. You know what I mean? And that'll be coming up today, because we should be having this show up today for NFL Bet Exchange. So you guys be on the lookout for that one as well, too, on the Periscope. All right, so we move on, and we have the Pac-12, and in the Pac-12, we do have ourselves a pretty good group of games going on. We got the arch rivals Stanford and Cal going at it, and they'll be in Berkeley this weekend. And I think what happens here is you got two struggling teams, two teams that are just kind of going with the motions a little bit. They're not up to par the way that they usually are. But the thing is, though, it's still Stanford Cal. It's tough to pick a winner here, so I'm going to go ahead and take the under 52. I think this should be a very good spot for us. And let's go ahead and scoreboard watch, and hopefully we'll get the right result. Under 52, Stanford and Cal. Then we got the Oregon game. This one is going to be a big one here. And I think what happens here is that Oregon's going to absolutely stomp out the Beavers here. I think the Oregon is going to have themselves a very, very good game here. So pretty much 13.5 on the Oregon, and we move forward. USC has themselves a game that they should be able to run away with. It is Colorado. I know Colorado's tough, and Colorado did get us a good win over Stanford earlier this year as a big dog, but they're not going to go to USC and do the same thing they did to Stanford. USC at home, lights out. And I know that they didn't play well the first few weeks of the season, but the Arizona teams were ready for them. As per usual, Arizona teams are always playing up to the SoCal teams very tough, because they're all in the same division as well too. That's for seedings and getting to the championship and things like that. But in this game right here, I think USC goes ahead and absolutely stomps the yard on Colorado in this spot. So I'm taking USC minus 11, and they were impressive last week the way that they beat Utah as well too. I did not see that coming. I thought Utah was going to get themselves another great home win over USC. That did not happen. So pretty much we got the under 69 Zona UCLA as well too. This one is going to be a fun one at the Rose Bowl, and pretty much an empty Rose Bowl, but we kind of used to an empty Rose Bowl at this moment right now, so it's all good. So under 69 Zona UCLA, this should work out, and I'm just saying because UCLA is way too high on the spread for this game, in my opinion. I think that they could probably win by 10 or less, but that 16-17 that they put on UCLA, that's a bit much, y'all. You know I ain't capping with that one. That's a bit much. UCLA's 1-2. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. And then we got Utah. Utah is actually in a game where it kind of is messed up for Utah and Washington because they were actually scheduled to go against other teams this week. But what happened was those two teams are out. Washington State and Arizona State are out with the covet. So now what the Pac-12 is doing, if you have to, if you got two games where the two games had to get canceled, those healthy teams are going to play each other, and the other teams are going to take the week off, and that's what the scenario does. Lying hand that Utah is going to play against Washington. Both teams are kind of unprepared for each other, but I still think that Utah winds up covering in the game. I would add the hook as well too in this spot, but Utah, let's see how it shakes out, and that's the Pac-12 bets list for you. Now we move on and let's jump into the future, and we're going to keep the receipts because when we get to the end of the NBA season, we're going to see exactly where we sit at. So every time these teams cross that threshold of winning, going over these games, I'll make sure to check mark that. So you guys make sure to list this as well too. I'm going to make snippets of this as well too, and I'm going to make my own little NBA preview out of this as well too. So you guys be on the lookout for this, and here it goes. And so ACC bets list, we got a Notre Dame team going over here just cruising. But you know what? They're going to run into probably the toughest game of the season, toughest road game, I think, to this point of the year. You got a team in North Carolina that plays excellent at home. Pretty much they are a damn good team at home, and they actually drop about 40 points a game at home as well too. So Notre Dame has to be on the lookout. But the thing is though, North Carolina can't stop a team like Notre Dame's offense. Come on, they had issues with Wake Forest's offense. They had issues with Virginia Tech's offense, and those offenses aren't as elite as Notre Dame. So pretty much I know they'll have a game plan in place to try to limit some things and probably take away from what they're doing. But at the end of the day, I think Notre Dame is going to run away with this one, and they should win by a touchdown or better. So pretty much I'm rolling with Notre Dame here. So let's see how it shakes out, and we'll roll from there. We got NC State, Syracuse. This is going to be a good game as well, too. But I think that the over 50 is going to hit in this spot because I really do feel like North Carolina State, they are on cruise control right now. And, Syracuse has just been a doormat for pretty much all these teams in the conference this year as well, too. So pretty much there it is, man. And over 50 is going to be North Carolina State, Syracuse, and we move forward. We got Pitt going against Clemson this week. Clemson is now getting back Trevor Lawrence as well too, but we always know Pitt does give Clemson problems because they I don't know, they just have some defensive principles that really mess with Clemson's game plan a little bit here. So what I'm gonna do is take Pitt on the plus 24. I think that you give us 24 points in this spot. I think that we'll be able to cover this, lose by 3 touchdowns or less. And Pitt, there it is, plus 24. Let's see how it checks out. Then we got Boston College. Boston College has themselves a pretty good game coming up this week. It's a pick'em game as well, too. But I think Boston College is the better team in this spot. They are going against Louisville, and it's tough to beat Boston College in Boston. So I'm going to go ahead and take Boston College with the minus 115 money line. Let's see how it goes. And then we got Georgia Tech They're going against Duke this week. This is a pick 'em game in all, rightfully so, because this is a tough game to pick. Both teams are only have 2 wins on the season, 2-5, 2-6 coming into this one. So pretty much, I think the best bet for this one would be taking the home team, Georgia Tech, and we're gonna go ahead and see how this one goes and see how it shakes out. And then we have the under 58.5 with the Virginia and Florida State. The Wahoos taking on the Florida State Seminoles, man. Too bad it's not like the good old days with the Seminoles, man, when they used to just be murdering everybody, dude. This is just this is tough to watch with the Florida, bro. So it is what it is, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Momin. Truly appreciate that, man. What you got? We're going to keep this movement moving, though, because 2021 is about to be absolutely insane. We got big moves being made right now, and I'm just going to keep y'all posted on that, man, and be ready. That's all I can say. I see you up in here, Marcus Wayne. Long time. Me and that man go way, way, way back. So, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving to you, Marcus, brother. All right, so pretty much we got the Big Ten bets list, and we got under 53.5 within the old school rivalry game between Nebraska and Iowa. I think this one does go under because it usually does. These games always wind up being 20-17 or something of that nature, and I think that pretty much this is where it is. And this is where it's at, the under 53.5. And pretty much it is what it is, man. Thank you, brother. I truly appreciate that. I'll be talking to you soon. We all got to get together, because we're getting older out here. So over 58, Michigan, Penn State. I think this one should be work out for us as well, too. This one is going to be a good game as well. But you know what? Both these teams have been bad. They both have made us all rip up tickets this year. And you know what? This is just a game where I'm not picking no winner. I just hope they go over in this game because neither one of these defenses are very good at the end of the day. So pretty much over 58 looks like a logical play to me. So let's go ahead and move forward. We got the old turtle game going right now. This is a big rivalry game between Ohio State and Illinois. Regardless of what anybody wants to think or say, they play for a turtle in this game. So pretty much a statue turtle that, if you guys know the history of it, the turtle was the part of they used to switch off an actual live turtle. Then the turtle died like 5 years into it. So they said instead of us always replacing the turtle, we'll just make a statue of a turtle and the winner gets to hold on to it. Ohio State's probably been holding on to it for like the last 10 years. So pretty much I think that will continue, but Illinois will make it a game. So I'm taking them with the plus 28 here. I think they lose by 3 touchdowns or less. You know what I mean? Ohio State, they can't just keep beating up on everybody. They be having to take breaks and shit, like they did last week against Indiana. Man, on to Indiana. Indiana is in a good spot this week. I think Indiana's going to tear them alive, dude. To be dead honest with you, Indiana is feeling good about themselves. They went toe-to-toe with the Buckeyes. They were right there. But the Buckeyes were just too good for them. But at the end of the day, Indiana, they know that was a long shot for them to win, but that was a good moral victory. They got a great leader in their head coach as well, too. A guy who's probably going to be getting a good job somewhere in the SEC next year, getting paid some big money. So we're going to see how it goes. But Indiana, for right now, I think that you guys are good money. You guys have been good to us all season. Why not? Minus 11.5 Indiana. Get them by 2 touchdowns and let's roll. All right, we got the Northwestern Michigan State game, and Michigan State's been an absolutely eyesore this year. Northwestern, they've been good to us this year. Northwestern took care of us last week, plus 7.5. Also, if you would have money lined them, that was smart as well too, because this team was this team is just good. They're just moving forward. They're playing great defense. They got a great coach as well, too. So I'm taking the over 41.5 here, Northwestern, Michigan State. And I think because Michigan State's defense is just that bad this season, I think what happens here is that we get a lot of turnovers from Northwestern, where Northwestern forces a lot of turnovers. We might get a pick six, fumble return, something of that nature. But I think Northwestern's defense gets a touchdown in this game as well, too. So there it is, over 41.5, Northwestern, Michigan State. And then we move forward, and we got the Rutgers game. And Rutgers is playing against Rutgers is in a good spot this week. Rutgers is playing in a game against Purdue, and Purdue is seen as a team that's just kind of going with the motions a little bit, but they have been pretty good at home, but it seems like they not covering the way that they should be covering, and 12 is a bit too many points for me on this team with the Rutgers team that I know is not they after week one beat Michigan State, everything kind of wore off a little bit. But Rutgers plays hard every week. So pretty much a team that plays hard is a dangerous team in my opinion. So Rutgers with the +12. Let's see how it shakes out. And you could be a little cute here and maybe take the money line as well too. You never know because I think this is going to be a strong over bet on Purdue in this spot, to be dead honest with you. Now, let's move on to the SEC, the entitled conference, where anything we put out should be a nationally championship considered, even though we only got 4 teams this year. Or 4 teams really every year, but pretty much +25.5 to Kentucky. Kentucky's going against Florida this week. You know that's a rivalry game, so pretty much Kentucky, they didn't look great against Alabama, but I know they'll show up against Florida just a little bit because they really hate these guys. So pretty much I'm taking them +25.5 on Kentucky. Let's see how it shakes out, and then we have Vandy and Missouri, and Vandy's been good to you if you faded them all season, to be dead honest with you. But they did cover last week. And there's a good chance they'll probably duplicate a cover this week as well, too. Looks like they found a little bit of offense. And Mizzou, they're going to score on Vandy. So pretty much I'm taking the over 51 in this spot. I think this is the smartest bet here because you got 2 bad teams and you don't know where this game is going to go. And then you got the Egg Bowl between Mississippi State and Mississippi. Me and Jeff talked about this earlier this week, and I think that Mississippi State can't cover in this game. I think Leach gets the first piece in this brand new rivalry between 2 West Coast coaches, 2 coaches that believe in great passing games, and Lane Kiffin and Leach. And I'm telling you, maybe one of these days it could possibly be the SEC championship game. That would be a lot of fun. But Leach has to make it out of this season as well, too, because there's a lot of issues going on with that man in Starksville right now. He got half the team leaving and shit. So I don't know what his situation is going to be. Then we got over 62 with Auburn and Bama. This is the Iron Bowl. So Auburn is really a big shot this weekend. They're a big, long shot this weekend. And usually say anything can happen in the Iron Bowl, but I'm telling you right now, Bama's leagues ahead of the SEC this year. I've never seen them dominate the SEC as hard as they dominated the SEC this season. Seriously, they haven't had like one hiccup game, anything of that nature. I know they probably had a little bit of a game against Ole Miss, but that didn't last too long. So pretty much over 62, Auburn, Bama. This looks like money to me. Damn, they had an over 62 last week. They got 63 on their own. So Bama. Bama's the best. And, Bama, Ohio State are like guaranteed first half cashes too as well. So pretty much that's another bet that you guys can look at this weekend as well too. Then you got the LSU going against their rival Texas A&M. Texas A&M quietly one of the best teams in the nation. They've been in the top 5 for a few weeks. Nobody even talks about them. And they'll be next up if, say, Clemson or one of these teams in the top 4 loses this week. They'll be in the top 4, pretty much because they're on the outside looking in. But all in all, I think LSU is going to give them a run for their money. The LSU still has their talent. They're not as good as they were last year when they were the ultimate champion, national champion, and everything like that, with all their great NFL players and Joe Burrow, they're the number 1 pick in the draft, guy who was in college for 6 years. So it is what it is at the end of the day, +14.5 LSU. And then we have the under 49.5 with Georgia and South Carolina. You know what happened with this one as well too. Under 49.5, Georgia, South Carolina. So pretty much, this was a big upset last year. So this year I'm going to go ahead and go with the same bet that you saw on the scoreboard last year. It was a very low scoring game. I expect that to be the same case this year. So I'm taking it under 49.5 with Georgia and South Carolina. All right, let me get through the CBB real quick. Thank you for tuning into the Primetime Angles, the premier sports betting show, hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. This is a PrimeWave media production, and go ahead and press that subscribe button.